Hello, everybody. This is Dangerous. Uh, Welcome to Submariner Plays U-Boat, and here we are. And here we are at La Rochelle. We topped off our fuel, um, topped off our food stores. Everything's loaded up, ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and get ready to take our first mission from La Rochelle. Go to the leading officer. We are going to do happy time, I think. So let's see what they got here.
Beim BDU wird viel über Ihre letzte Patrouillenfahrt geredet. Gute Arbeit. Dies sind die heutigen Aufträge vom BDU. Streng geheim.
All right. So they have passage through the Strait of Gibraltar, rescue a Kriegsmarine official, mine laying in Africa. Interesting. All right. And then we have the happy time sectors here. Says it's high difficulty. Anticipated number of vessels in the area is small. Says here that anticipated number of vessels in the area is small, medium difficulty, and increased activity of enemy aircraft. And then strong winds are in this area. Difficulty is low and number of vessels small. Wow, so all three are pretty small. We're not going to go to the Strait of Gibraltar. We're not headed to the Mediterranean. Definitely, I want to do this at least one time. It's pretty cool. Plus, you get Naval Academy, and that allows you to train your men to give them. They can get extra skills, I think. And you get a headquarters officer. So, and I'm not going to do my lane Gibraltar Strait. No. So, like I said, we're going to do the happy time. We're going to go ahead and do the high difficulty one. I'm hoping that we can get a lot of vessels in this area, a lot of merchants. We'll see. But that's what we're going to do. All right, prepare to get underway. Station the maneuvering watch. Here we go. All right, let's go. All right, we received an important message. It says We were attacked by aircraft and sustained heavy damage. We are out of replacement parts. We are asking for help. Meeting point 31 degrees north. So 51 degrees 31 north and 12 degrees 30 west. We will stay there by the 5th of September 1940 at 05. All right, we'll try to make it. Go ahead and run over there. So it says 5th of September. Okay. So 5th of September. So I guess we're gonna rush right on over there.
Jawohl.
Best we can.
Jawohl. Jawohl. Schneller, schneller!
And so we can give them some supplies. All right, we're here in the North Atlantic. Stormy as usual. Still racing over to help out our fellow U-boat 1110. And I'm sure the topside watches are not looking, not happy. Not looking too good. Probably look like drowned dogs, just soaking wet, probably. But we got one more day, so roughly a day and a half almost, to reach the U-boat. We have plenty of the gear to help them out, so replacement parts and stuff. So we're all good. All right, we just about made it to our friend, and right when we got there, we had an aircraft spotted. There she is. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to our friend here. Lead it a little bit, if I can. I don't know if it takes into account gravity and, you know, gotta aim a little bit high and
Legen Sie den Kurs ab.
tough. I don't know if I need to, the bullets will follow ballistics or not. Okay, here we're going to move, we're going to change course here. got her. Fix those leaks though. Okay. Okay, we got the guy on the leaks. It's good. Somebody to pump here. She fly on an engine? That's the question, right? Did we get her? She's gonna go down. She's on fire. There she goes.
Kurs setzen.
If we can get the pilot.
Schneller, schneller!
Erledigt. Schaden repariert.
Let's get him. There we go.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
All right, so we were able to rescue the pilots. So we got survivors on board. That did look like they had a nice landing there. Lucky to be alive. All right, let's get our friend some help. Be nice. You don't see the officers. See what this looks a little different than the inside of our boat, doesn't it? It's a little different than the inside of our boat. But we don't see the officers eating dinner a lot. At least I haven't yet. Looks like their place is here. I'd like to be cool if we can see more of this kind of supplies and kind of the look inside the boat. It'd be kind of cool. The rain gear and all that. Have that ready to go and all that. I don't know. Add a little bit of life to the boat, I think, which would be cool. You know, seeing the officers eating would be cool. You see the enlisted, but not the officers. But all right. Okay. to close the hatch there. All right, there we go. Gotta get some parts here. And I don't know why he doesn't have his breathing apparatus. Getting crowded here. All right, storage. Okay.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloy.
All right. So, in case I didn't say, in case you guys weren't aware, we made it to our patrol area. And I wasn't sure if I had told you guys that, but we made it. The other U-boat that was in trouble was in the area. So we're going to go ahead and start our patrol. I'm not sure about the convoy routes, but we'll check them out and see how they go. Alright, looks like they're doing some maintenance on the torpedoes there. Good for you guys. Keep them greased up. Make sure you recharge the batteries. Check the maintenance, check the mechanisms. Everything's in working order. Alright. Alright, so I guess while we're doing this patrol here, I thought maybe we can talk a little bit about a little bit more about my experiences in the Navy doing submarine. And so one of the first things I guess, or one of the things I wanted to talk about is I guess from the beginning, right? So I went over to the recruiter. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. I had taken some part-time, college classes, and just felt like, well, you know what? My dad was in the Navy. My brother was in the Navy, and so I kind of had that what they had said about being in the Navy and their experiences, I guess, and I thought, and they were both in the submarine force, right? And so I thought, well, you know what? I want to get the GI Bill. I want to. I've heard this is a good thing. Get the GI Bill, and it'll help pay for school. That's really what I wanted to do is to get my degree. And so I signed up. And you sign up, and it was a delayed. I don't know what you call that, a delayed enlistment, I guess is what they call it. But I had some time to get everything ready, you know, get my affairs in order, I guess, so to speak. You know, and next thing I know, I'm on the airplane headed toward the Great Lakes in near Chicago. And we, my cohort, we were on a kind of like a fast, I don't know if we call it a fast track or whatever. So our cohort was actually on a like a short boot camp schedule, right? So instead of like the 7 week or 8 week or 9 week schedule, it was 6 weeks. So it was really fast paced. And so first week we were there, basically that's when you line up, right? I don't know if you guys see the movies where they line you up and you're getting passed out your clothing, right? Your sweatpants and stuff, because your first week you're in, at least we were, you're given sweatpants, your gym gear, I guess you would call it, right? Sweatshirt, sweatpants, navy blue, you know, stuff, and your dungarees, and if you need glasses, you know, get your glasses, get your head, you know, your head shaved, all the regular normal boot camp type stuff, right? Your vaccines, right? You line up for all your vaccines and stuff, and make sure you. What do? They do the you know, you get your dog tags and all that. So anyways, and then you get your chits. So what they call chits, I guess. And so they give you basically these little booklets, and you can use them to buy soap and shampoo material and other stuff at the commissary or the little store that they had there on the recruiting base, on the boot camp. And so the other things we did the swim qualifications. So you basically you dive into a pool from certain heights, and you're supposed to swim, and then you also have to kind of float. I forget what they call that. You know, you just kind of stay in the water. You can't reach out for the edge of the swimming pool, right? You can't support yourself. You have to keep swimming. And I can't remember how long it was, but you had to swim in circles with a whole bunch of other people that are kicking and swimming along there with you, which is just, you know, kind of stressful, because got a guy ahead of you, you know, kicking in your face, and you got the guy behind you, and you know, you're afraid to hit him in the face, and so you're doing that, and then you do that for a certain amount of time, 3 minutes or whatever it was, and I forget how long it was, 3-5 minutes, whatever. And then after you do that, you have to stop, and you just kind of float in place, right? You just kind of stay in one place and keep your head above water, so to speak, right? And so you do that, and then Of course, they teach you how to march, right? So you got to learn how to march uh, in unison and all that good stuff. Um, so they teach you how to do that, and you're doing classroom stuff. And the classroom stuff you do every week, right? I guess what I mean is the marching you do every week, but they teach you the first week how to march, what you're supposed to do. But the classroom teaching and all that goes on throughout the boot camp time. And you also have your exercises. You are exercising a lot. Push-ups, sit-ups, running. When you're, say, if you're going from one place to another by yourself or with a buddy, you got to run. You can't walk. You have to run. You also they teach you how to salute and who to salute and when to salute and all that stuff, right? And so that's your first week. And your first week, you're in sweatpants, so you can tell the week one guys because they're in sweatpants. And then week two, that's when you're doing your start doing your training. You'll learn how to tie knots and first aid techniques, right? You continue to do your exercising, and you also standing watch, right? So I forgot to mention, you also learn how to stand watch, right? So when you're in your building, your boot camp building with the rest of your cohort, your group of people that you're going through the training with, you're standing watch. And you stand watch, so the watch is stationed is 24 hours, I think, pretty much. So at night, you basically rotate one person. I think I forget if it was 2 or 4 hours. I couldn't remember. Night, but you have these, say, 4-hour watches, and then you might have your watch from midnight to 4 a.m. And guess what? You got to bed by 10. Got to get up at midnight, stand your watch till 4 a.m. and then you're up at 5:30, right? You don't have to do that every night. I mean, there's enough people in your cohort that you kind of rotate through, but that makes for a long night. People do get tired. You'll see people. At least I did standing watch. You see people sleepwalking and stuff like that, or not sleepwalking. Like this one guy I was standing watch, and he was standing at attention next to his bunk, sleeping. He was just standing there at attention. It was just crazy. But yeah, stress can be stressful. So, anyways, so basically, that's your week 2. You're wearing your dungarees. If it's winter, you got your pea coats and all that stuff. Learning how to fold your clothing properly. This is boot camp, right? So there's a certain way you need to fold your clothes, and it's basically what it is they're trying to get you to follow directions, follow what they tell you, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be that way all the time. Like one boot camp petty officer might tell you how to fold clothes, right? But your buddy who's in a different cohort, they might have showed him how to fold it a different way. It's all about following directions, doing what you're told. It's getting you trained to do things a certain way, right? And so they show you how to do that. You got to fold your clothes. You got to make your bunks, right? I don't know if you guys ever see any movies with when they talk about when they have the boot camp or whatever. They you got to have your bunks a certain way and all that stuff. I think it's a Company of Heroes. You know, they had the boot camp there. They kind of stuff like that. You know, you're always marching, you're exercising, doing all that stuff, right? And going to school. You get a little book, and you're basically in a classroom. You're tired. If you get tired, you got to basically just stand up, right? You can't fall asleep at your desk, you don't want to do that. So if you're really tired, you stand up. Just stand up and you keep listening to the lecture. Then in I think week 3, if I'm either week 3 or week 4, you get assigned kitchen duty, basically. So you go and you work in the kitchen. God, I want to say it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. It was really early. It's either 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I can't remember. I just remember that was kind of like I don't know if they call that the hell week. But, it's not really hell week. But you're they're really putting you through your paces. You're doing lots of exercises. They're testing you. Week 4, they're making sure if you got to do a certain amount of sit-ups and curl-ups and push-ups. You got to get timed on your running. You do your swimming and all sorts of things. You also start your firearms training about week 4, and so you learn how to shoot properly, use weapons, clean the weapons, and you'll also take another academic test, right? And so the test is basically on the stuff that you learned from the lectures. And if you're lucky, you have somebody in your cohort that'll be kind of a tutoring guy that'll one of the smarter people in your group will start kind of help you guys pass your tests, right? Your academic tests. One thing I did mention too is I can't remember if it was the first week or second week. You also have leaders chosen, right? You'll have like a leading recruit, kind of, right? Your leader of your cohort, right? And maybe an assistant. But I can't remember exactly how it was chosen, if the recruits did it, but I think that it was the petty officers. They said, we want you to be the leader. So they choose someone, right? And so you're doing that, and then week 5, you're that's when you start to receive your anti-terrorism training. We didn't do that. I don't remember doing anti-terrorism training. Definitely firefighting. We did firefighting and first aid. So you learn how to handle the fire hoses, fire extinguishers. You get dressed up in your firefighting outfits, and you you fight a pretend fire, right? You go into a compartment that's closed off, and your team has to do it properly to put out the fire, right? I think I'm not sure, maybe I could be mistaken, but if I remember right, you had a guy that was like the watch, right? And he'd call out the fire, right? Fire in the compartment, and or fire wherever. I forget how they called it out. But then your team had to hook up the hoses. You had your guy that was on the nozzle, and the other people holding the hoses, and you had to do it properly. I remember them saying, "Hey, don't step on the hoses," right? And then you basically run your hose over this kind of this fake fire, right? And I think I don't know if it was a gas fire that they had, and if you did it properly, the fire went out. But if you didn't, it gets hot. It gets really really warm in there, right? Because you're in your firefighting suits, and you might have to do it again. You don't want to fail these things, right? You gotta pay attention, follow the instructions, be smart. And one of the other things they might do, another thing is you get around this time is when you get your pictures taken, right? You get a picture in your uniform, and that gets that I think they send that home, maybe to your parents or guardians or wife or whoever, right? There are older people that I think there was one guy that was in our cohort that was like, I want to say he was like in his 30s. I think, I don't know. He was an older guy. I don't remember if he made it, but it was tough for him, I think. I'm not sure why he decided to sign up so late. I was 22. I was a little later. Most of the guys that were signed up were, late teens, 18, 19, 20, but the guy was 22. This other guy was I don't know, late 20s, maybe, early 30s. I can't remember. But anyways, I don't know if he made it. He was having a tough time. But it's tough for everybody, right? Some people will make it, some people don't. Some people get held back, and then basically you get held back. You might get held back a week, so you go to the previous or the following cohort of recruits, right? That can happen, especially if you don't pass your physical. If you don't pass your academic test, your physical. If you got a lot of weight to lose. I was pretty skinny at the time. I think I was down to like 145, I think, from 175. I think I 165 maybe. I don't know. I lost about 20, 25 pounds, I think, throughout the whole thing. And I've always been a skinny guy anyways. All right, so then week six, you got more drills that you do. You also start to learn how to do damage control. So you learn how to go to the pipes. You might have a hole in these pipes. And so what you do is they actually they show you how to take these pieces of equipment to kind of cover up the pipes. Basically, you're going to try to keep it from leaking. You might have pieces of wood that you jam into the hole or something, right? Like little codes or something. I don't know, just different things. I forget exactly. I know there's equipment that you can fit over the pipes and keep it from leaking, or to slow down the leak. And basically, that's what you're doing. You just, chances are you're not going to completely stop it from leaking, but you can get it to slow down significantly, right? And you might have to turn some screws, right? Tighten the screws up or something if they got loose. But anyways, you're putting in a room. I'm going to say the room was maybe a little bit smaller than something like this, and it had a bilge and almost like a machinery space, right? Kind of a machinery type space looking room, right? Had a big window, and you had all these pipes, right? You had your damage control equipment, and so you go in, they close the door behind you, and then they say, okay. They start the leaks going, and so all of a sudden you might get a pipe that bursts. And so you got your group. If you guys are organized, if you guys are doing good, right? You can get that leak fixed. Clamp it down, whatever, and right. And so you might be working on that one, and then all of a sudden another pipe will burst, and so you have another group going on. So what they're doing is seeing how well you guys are at damage control, but also stress, right? Because guess what? All that water is not going anywhere. It's filling up your compartment, right? And you got to plug those holes. If you don't do it fast enough, they'll just keep it going until it gets to a certain level. I forget how high it was. Chest high, maybe about chest high. Maybe for the shorter guys, it was neck high. I don't remember, but it was pretty full with water. And then they tell you, oh, okay, you guys got to do it again. And so you do it again. They might turn off the lights. I forget if they had it where you had it with the lights on, and then they made it a little bit more difficult. If you did really well, they might turn the lights off. So then you're going to have somebody hold the flashlight so that the other guy can get the leak fixed or slowed down. But it can be pretty stressful. So basically, they're training you to fix things in a stressful environment. And you also do some more firefighting type drills and stuff like that. You also take your final academic test, right? So you're going to school all during this time, right? They're teaching you about U.S. the Navy history type things and all sorts of things. You're also practicing your marching, and you're also holding your flags, getting ready for you're starting to get ready for graduation, where you have your flags. So you learn how to hold the flags, learn how to stand at attention without fainting and all that stuff. And then for other people, so I think by week 6 we were done. We had fit everything into 6 weeks. But if you're doing it for longer than that, you're going to go to week 7, right? So week 7, you're still doing the classroom learning and all that stuff. You're also learning how to do battle stations. Right, so you're stationing battle stations if I remember right, we also did. Oh, it's kind of loud out here. So, sorry. So week 7, you guys are going to learn battle stations for training, right? And if I remember right, there was I forget what they called it. It was like a little boat, like a little boat that was that you kind of train on, and it was. I don't know. It's like supposed to be like a kind of like a frigate type, thing. But it was just small, really small, right? And you train on that too. I forget what we were trained on. I forget exactly what we did on that trainer. And you also have this kind of this, I don't know if this final thing, right? You do they check your proficiency in swimming, so how good are you at swimming, and this is all in a 12-hour span, right? Your survival skills, being able to jump and maybe you have your suit or something that diving with your clothing, teamwork skills, your firefighting skills, damage control skills, shipboard rescue type stuff, all that sorts of stuff, first aid stuff, and it's all in this short span of time. And then week 8, basically week 8, by the time you're at week 8, you're getting ready for graduation, and you're still doing your physical education type stuff, your physical training, so maybe you're doing some classroom stuff. They're also teaching you about career advancement, what do you need to do to get to the next rank, and stuff like that, and getting all ready for when you become when you get stationed on a boat or ship, and you do this thing called the pass and review, which is your graduation, where that's where like I said, the flags and stuff, and you guys are marching. The graduation ceremony. You might have your family there, right? And then the last weekend is your Liberty weekend. That's the weekend before you get sent off, right? And then you also get to choose where you want to get stationed, right? If you're you might get chosen, or you might get sent off to certain areas. Other people go to different schools. After the basic training, I went to sub school. So after boot camp, I went to sub school, which is kind of similar in some ways, but there's a lot more classes. I was doing electronics training, and sub training, learning damage control, and your sonar training, and all that good stuff, right? Standing watches and stuff. And so I don't know if sonar was an A school, but anyways, we went to sub school, right? And once you get there, you continue your training at this at sub school. But your weekends are a little bit more free. You're still expected, right? You are, what they say, the property of the military. So you know, keep yourself together. You know, try not to get in trouble. You know, stay out of trouble, and you have the opportunity to do lots of things, lots of fun things. Right? But anyways, that's basically the experience for boot camp. So guys, I know that different Army has their boot camp, Marines have their boot camp, and Coast Guard has their boot camp. Everybody's a little different. But feel free to leave a comment or something about your experiences at boot camp, right? And you know, let me know. All right, so we're gonna get ahead, and I've talked long enough. We'll go ahead and get going here. Keep going on this patrol. All right, we're coming up to a convoy that was just outside of patrol area, but when we were doing a sound check, I couldn't just ignore it. I had to go and try for it, and so we're here, getting ready to get into position. Looks like we have another lone merchant. I don't know what he's doing, but there's a lone merchant there. We're gonna weave our way through these escorts here. We got to escort over here, and then we got to escort there. But we're gonna go ahead and weave our way inside and see if we can get inside, get position. Alright, seems like they were alerted to us somehow. They heard us. Must be a pretty good group. We're going to try to get position and try to get some torpedoes off. Alright, we got a destroyer sending off. They hear we're around in the area, so they're going for us. I'm gonna go ahead and try to aim for that ship there. Yeah, they're all over the place here. Okay.
Schneller, schneller!
For some reason I can't target that. Oh, there she is. Having a tough time talking in here. Okay, there we go. Definitely there's starting to zigzags. Okay. We'll go ahead and call that. Let's see, we'll just call it 7 knots for now. course, call it that. They're zigzagging, so we're just going to average it out there. And then distance here. See what we got. No, she's pretty close. Okay. Definitely not that close though. Let's try that. She's that close. Okay. Try that.
Rohr 1, bewässern! Rohr 3, bewässern!
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Okay.
Rohr 3 bewässert.
We're gonna change our course here. I'm gonna call it that.
Los!
Okay. Okay. Let's see. The other, there's that other ship here. I know there's another ship around here somewhere. Oh, yeah. Definitely too close. That's okay. Yeah, they're getting pretty close to us here. Yeah, so this is probably that. I missed on the one. Zigzagging, so I missed. Let's see if we can get this other one here that's a little closer. We're gonna have to dive pretty soon though. I want to try to get at least one ship. Oops, let's see here. Course, yeah, that's fine.
Rohr 2, bewässern!
Okay.
Rohr 4, bewässern!
Let's try this again here.
Rohr 2 fertig.
Los!
30 Sekunden.
Okay.
20 Sekunden.
Any time now?
Treffer.
Okay, nice. Okay, good.
Schwere Schäden
I was
am
starting to
Rumpf.
get worried there. All right.
Treffer. Rohr 1 geladen.
Okay.
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
See if we can go for this one. Do we go for
Herr Kaloi, ein Sonar hat uns geortet.
Empire Franklin? Is that really I don't know. I want to wait and see if I can get this other ship that's coming up here. Got that Corvette there that's I'm kind of worried about. Yeah, they're just launching star flares all over the place here. Really want to get this ship here if possible. Oh, no, not that one. I want to get this one here, I think. Yeah, she looks pretty. Go ahead and recognize that. Velocity 7 knots. Get this course. Go ahead and set that. Distance. Pretty close. Come on. Right. All right.
Rohr 1, bewässern!
It's not warmed up, but hopefully we'll get a good hit on her. Let's go
Rohr
for it.
1 bewässert.
Los!
Rohr 2 geladen. 20 Sekunden. Treffer.
Rohr 2,
Go for another
bewässern.
one, just in case. Feel like
Rohr 2
Los!
just in case, because I feel like I want to get her to sink. You know.
50 Sekunden.
Yeah, she's still hanging on, so there she goes. So
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
all right, I think she's done for. All right, two merchants sunk. That's great. We got this Corvette that really wants us. Normally, you wouldn't be sticking around if this was real life. You're going to be going to crash dive. You wouldn't be sticking around.
Rohr 1 geladen.
But yeah. And she's going down there. She goes.